The competition here at the St James Expression Open is really hotting up as we get to the final stages of the event. Here we are at the lovely St James complex, the flagship here in Springfield. The competition here has been absolutely fierce. It's been so strong, featuring Sabrina Sobey of the USA. She's gone unbeaten all tournament, obviously making the final without dropping a single game. Thanks, trainer. She's taking on Chan Sin Yuk of Hong Kong. She's coming off the back of winning the last 2 events. And she's been in good form still this tournament. She's now up to, I think, 14 matches unbeaten in her PSA career at this little bit of a juncture in the season. As we move to the men's event, we're looking at 2 great players. We've got Lionel Cardenas of Mexico. He's highest ranking of 13 in the world, and he's taking on Veer Chochani of India, the Cornell graduate, and Veer's been on top form, taking out the number 2 seed, Mohammed El Shabini, and then taking out last night the USA number 1, Timmy Brownell. So as we go down here, we're having a bit of a nice little tour of some of the facilities here at the St James. This is the lovely gym complex for our members. The players have all been able to make full use of it. I think as we look to the 2 finals, the women's event could well be the more closely competitive final on paper, with Chancellor Nuyuk obviously in fine form, 2 titles of last 2 events. She's taking on Sabrina Sobey, and they're both looking like they should match up to play an absolutely beautiful game of squash. As we go to the 2 men, I think it's going to be really closer than ranking might have on paper. I think we'll probably see Veer continue in his fine form and really test Lionel Cardenas in this final. So with that, I'm going to pass back to Steve in the studio.
In his quarterfinal match, and then against Timmy Brownell last night. So yeah, potentially 2 upset victories here on the cards. What could be a really exciting night.
Yeah, we've been treated to some amazing matches so far here, all right from the beginning of the first round all the way to this final stage. Now, obviously, number 1 seed Marina Stefanoni, she was on paper to take this title. She was taken out by Sin Yuk Chan of Hong Kong, who we'll see on court today. Sabrina Sobey, though, obviously she was former number 13 in the world. Do you feel, and I've asked this question a few times now, do you feel like she's getting back to that level, and if not, better than that?
It feels like she's playing at some of her best squash. You know, I think the way that she's performed against Hannah Motaz was absolutely fantastic. We all thought that match was going to be 3-2 either way. She actually dispatched her in 3 games in what was a very mature and very high-level performance. I don't think the question here is whether Sabrina's playing up in that top 15 in the world level. I think the big question is whether Simi Chan is also playing at that level. You know, she has gone, I think you were saying, 18 games undefeated now. You know, that's one of the longest win streaks this season, obviously. Amami's had a great win streak at the very top of the World Tour, but at this level, you know, this copper-sized event, this is her 2nd copper-sized final, along with 2 15K wins. She's on an absolute roll herself. She could very easily be playing at a similar level herself. This feels like 2 players who are massively outplaying their ranking, and I think you're going to see that in the squash that they put on show tonight.
Yeah, certainly. Just to reiterate that, 3 titles she has won in a row. She has not been defeated so far in the 2025-2026 season, so Sin Yuk Chan is seriously a contender for this season. Just a brief look here at the men's final. Obviously, that's coming up after this one. Lionel Cardenas, the number 1 seed from Mexico. He hasn't dropped a game. He hasn't put a foot wrong. What's his sort of style, and how do you break that down for someone like Veer Chochani?
I think Veer's got the exact game you need. Leo takes the ball earlier than most people on the tour, definitely everybody outside the top 10. He's such an aggressive player. He's so smooth. Everything he does is so hard to break down. What you need to break someone like that down is unpredictability and incredible winning shot making, and that's what Veer has shown all week. So he definitely has the game. He needs to be at the very top of his game to push Leo and break him out of that rhythm, but we'll see if he can do it.
And Veer Chatrani yesterday taking out the number 3 seed, Timothy Brownell. Now that was a pretty convincing style match, wasn't it? I thought that was going to be a bit closer. Obviously, Timothy Brownell had about 2 5-setters that went into the 130-minute mark before he got on court. But I did find it quite unbelievable how talented this young Indian player is.
Yeah, I think there was a lot of conversation around the squash club, potentially from Timmy himself, which is, just how hard Veer is to play when he plays on that kind of form. When you have a court like this that takes in a great winning ball that's quite lively, and you have someone who's finding those shots, keeping everything in the court, and just shooting from absolutely everywhere. I mean, what are you supposed to do? It's near unplayable, but I think Cardenas will have something to say about that and make that style of game very difficult to execute tonight.
So the first matchup on this centre court is Sin Yuk Chan of Hong Kong up against Sabrina Sobey of the United States. I'm going to ask you now for a prediction for this one. You've obviously talked about Sin Yuk Chan's unbelievable record she's got at the moment, and then in contrast Sabrina Sobey's meteoric rise from injury. What are you thinking is going to happen here?
This might be silly based on the incredible win streak that Sin Yuk Chan is on, but I think Sabrina's playing some of the best squash here, and I think she's going to take this. I think it's going to be very close. I think Sabrina in 4 or 5 games.
Well, there you go. You've heard it here from the women's game expert, Oscar Beach, and we're just about coming into the 6:30 mark. So join us very, very shortly as we take to the court with Lewis Anderson as the MC, as usual.
Everyone, and welcome to the St. James Expression Open Finals. If you are coming to watch the finals, please start to take your seats. The players will be on court very, very shortly. Without further ado, let's get the players onto court, and I want to hear you get loud. We've got the clappers, we've got your mouths, let's hear it. Firstly, from Hong Kong, Simi Chan. And let's make some noise. She's from the USA, it's Sabrina Sobey.
Well, here we go. It's the St. James Expression Open 2025 here in Springfield, Virginia. It's Sin Yuk Chan of Hong Kong up against Sabrina Sobey of the United States. Fantastic atmosphere here in the St. James facility. It's a wonderful facility. Plenty of squash courts, plenty of other facilities as well. 2 ice rinks, not just one, because one is never enough apparently. Sabrina Sobey on fine form in this event and in this early stage of 2025-2026 season on the PSA Squash Tour. Coming back from a injury in the previous season, she's looking in really, really good way on court. Not dropping a game so far in this event. And consistency is something that her opponent is no stranger to. 18 matches on the bounce for Sin Yuk Chan of Hong Kong. And with those 18 matches, she's won 3 titles as well. And I mean, if it's not impressive as a stat that is alone, it's 70.3% career win rate for Chan. Just 23 years of age, turned pro back in 2016. Highest world ranking of 33, but she is certainly higher than that in terms of her playing style. 12 PSA's titles to her name, as we mentioned, those previous 3 in the past couple of months. Then Sabrina Sobey, she's been as high in the world as the top 15 there, highest world ranking of 13. 28 years of age with 5 PSA titles to her name. She'll be looking to increase that trophy cabinet for sure, and she's in good stead at the moment. As I said, she has not dropped a game in this event so far. 56% win rate, which is a very healthy one indeed. Superb retriever, but a phenomenal squash player in all respects. So we are really, really getting treated to some fantastic matches throughout this week. And I'm joined back again with Oscar Beach, who has been with us all week. I'm doing a fantastic job on the commentary, and a real specialist with the women's game so far this week. So I'll be certainly asking your take on these ones. Where's the difference between these two players? Like you said, unseeded, and they're on similar trajectories, but what is going to be the difference?
I think this is a really interesting clash of styles, isn't it? You have Sabrina, whose movement skills have been on full display, proactive, aggressive movement to get onto the ball early. She has such great options into the front of the court. She follows up on any attacks really well. She's an incredible counter-attacking player, but I think that's in some ways a discredit to just how good a shot making has been this week and her straight line quality. You know, she's squeezed every single player and had the better ball control than all of her opponents this week, and she's reflected that highest world ranking that she's got. In comparison, you've got Sin Yuk Chan, who has an incredible flow and rhythm on the court. It seems like she doesn't get out of first gear in a lot of her matches. She's so smooth around the court. She reads the game so well. Her incredible tightness and her incredible deception and accuracy open up really great movement for her, and just so many great attacking positions on the court. You know, we have two players here that want to play a completely different pace of game, and that's always going to be an interesting battle of who can dictate the pace and dictate the flow of these rallies.
Well, we are certainly going to have an entertaining battle, that's for sure. And I love these matches, Oscar, I have to say. They're ones where they're not scripted. You know, you don't see the start of these events and see a number 1 seed, number 2 seed, and then it goes all the way through to seedings, and it's just it's not a boring match. Obviously, it's never boring, but these kind of ones are just a glimpse of to see the current form of these players in this season is very exciting for us to watch.
I think we spoke a lot this weekend about how much strength and depth is rising up the ranks on the World Tour at the minute, and I think this copper-sized event is the perfect one to display that, because you have a range of players, previous top 20 in the world players, sizing up against future top 20 in the world players who are soaring up the rankings, making their way through the top 50 and beyond. and you have different levels of experience, and everybody's got this unbelievable hunger and unbelievable belief that they can take out the seedings.
Chan kicks off proceedings in this final matchup in the St. James Expression Open 2025. Well, as you can see in the side vision of the center court, plenty of squash going on. The US Junior tournament, the JCT, happening as we speak alongside this PSA event. A great opportunity for those players to witness some of the caliber of the PSA level.
Yeah, I think so, even more so because we have obviously Sabrina on court here. Incredible US interest in this final, and I think it's very impressive to see the level of the US juniors at this JCT. There's a phenomenal improvement across the board through all the age groups from those US juniors, and you can see that when you come to these events, can't you? The squash on show is incredible, and you're right. Hopefully, they'll see Sabrina here in the final of a world tour event, and envision themselves being here in the not too distant future.
It's a good start here for the American. One thing that's continued for me in the beginning of this event for her is she's just never looked at all slow on court. I know that's obvious to say, but she's just buzzing around. She's moving onto that tee. She's preempting her movements really nicely, and it just looked like there's a real positive energy about her game.
I think the language we've used earlier in the week is busy. She's very busy with the movement. She gets into fantastic positions on court, but it's what gives her that opportunity to control the ball and hit with so much purpose and with so much accuracy, as we've just seen there, as she hits that perfect length.
And a fantastic start again here for Sobi, taking it in beautifully to the front right corner.
I think something we've commended about Chan this week is how casual she can look on court, how much of a flow state she can get herself in, and how it looks like she is often strolling around the court reading the game. Already we can see here in this match that's not going to cut it against Sobi. She's being the more proactive player. She's forcing the pace, and currently it's catching Chan a little bit out of sorts.
Well, what a start this is. I keep saying the start because it doesn't feel like Chan has even had a chance to begin this match yet. It's also worth noting that the most recent matchup between these two was in the Nash Cup earlier, and it was a 3-love win for Chan. Now that to me is not what we're seeing at the moment in terms of the style of play.
I did consider that when I was making my prediction for Sobi, and it always feels unwise predicting that somebody who's on an 18-match win streak won't win. Very easily could be proven wrong here, but I think one thing that's fair to say is that Sobi's very much on the rise in her comeback here. Her form is always improving tournament after tournament, and Chan will know that this will be a different player than the person who she played at Nash Cup not too long ago.
It's a better response now from Chan. Technically, she's so smooth with the swing. Don't know why, but I can't help myself compare her to a Rami-esque swing. Very loose, very, very nice and smooth, very little going on with it. This has been a blitzing from Sabrina Sobey. That's a bit more like what we're used to seeing from Chan. Bringing your opponent into a difficult position and then cutting off the loose cross court.
Yeah, she needs to establish those positive patterns of play, doesn't she? She's got some incredible approaches to these rallies. You know, she constructs them so well. She plays some brilliant shots into the front, followed up with reading the ball so well. But currently, it's all Sobey who's been forcing the issue here. Some brilliant attacks into the front and just constant pressure in the back of the court on Chan. She now has 7 game balls to show for it.
Oh, what a shot there from Sabrina Sobey to close this one out, 11-3. Dominant performance in this first game from Sabrina Sobey. 11-3 in 7 minutes for Sabrina Sobey to take this opening game. And Oscar, that was just sublime, wasn't it? I can't say any other words. It was sublime from Sobey.
I know, I mean, it's not the first time this week that we've been talking about how mouthwatering one of her matches looks to be, how tight it's going to be, and then she's came out and just completely dominated every single rally. She's on a roll, isn't she? I think it's going to take a lot of work for Chan to knock Sabrina out of this rhythm. She's playing at such a tempo. She's really feeling the ball well on that court. I mean, she's going to have to change something quite dramatic, isn't she?
Yeah, it feels to me that Chan is really trying to fight to push her way up onto that T-zone, give her all the hold that she uses to use that post and stuff. But Sabrina Sobey, you can just sense that using that busyness, like you mentioned at the start of the show, she's just trying to cover that T-zone, and just it looks like there's nothing phasing her at the moment. What is Chan going to have to do to get back into this match?
I think she needs to construct her rallies a little bit more patiently before she forces the issue with an attack of her own. It's a very clear tactic from Sabrina that she knows Chan likes to attack, and she wants to jump on those and make her have to cover a very strong counter and busy Chan's movement and break her out of that very controlled, fluid movement that she likes. I think Chan needs to be a bit more patient, work Sobey behind her before she starts to initiate those attacks of her own. But currently the line hitting of Sobey is near perfect, and that's not going to be an easy job. Really, Chan just needs to raise the level of her own hitting quite dramatically, and that's a tall order.
We'll go back to the action on centre court now and see what Chan can do to find a way back into this match. So 1 game to love now for Sabrina Sobey. And it's shots like that just sends a message to your opponent, doesn't it?
Yeah, that brilliant adaptation there. It just shows that you're very relaxed. You know, her arm's clearly very relaxed there. She's just playing on instinct in the most positive way possible. And it's Sabrina who's reading Chan here and actually anticipating her attacks, which is what we've seen Chan do to players all week.
That's a great point, actually, that. What makes our sport very special for me, you know, other ones, for instance, tennis, you've got the serve as a shot that you can, you know, statically break up the rhythm. But in squash, if you get into that flow state, it is incredibly hard to break down, isn't it? Especially when all those shots are working and pulling off with such success.
Yeah, if you told people in the crowd here who weren't aware that Chan had beat Sobi in 3 games 1-2 months ago, they'd be shocked to see it. But you're right, the momentum here is all with Sobi. She seems to be on a roll. Chan's quite actively trying to build some more rallies, get some of her own winners going in this game, but she's got a big uphill climb ahead of her.
And it's just those straight lines from Sobi that are so clinical today. That was a clever shot down the middle from Chan. Lengthier rally from these two.
You've got to think that Chan will take quite a lot of confidence winning a rally at the back of the court there.
Yep.
I know that she's already had some nice winners early on, but there's not been many rallies in this match where she's truly just outplayed Sobi in quite a long testing affair. And I think the word from Sobi here, what she's doing well in these rallies, is variation.
Yep.
Chan is very much trying to find those back corners and hitting slightly mid-paced with some really good accuracy. Sobi's playing kills, then she's lifting, she's switching the play, volleying absolutely everything she can.
She's guarding it, isn't she? She's guarding that line. Oh, what a shot there from Sabrina Sobi. And it was well applauded by the crowd here. And those both sitting up just a bit too high for Chan. Sabrina Sobi, no hesitation to send that one cross.
Quite often when Chan has taken that ball in, Sobi's tried to get onto it as early as possible, force Chan to have to cover that short ball, but then punched it long with a lot of pace. And I think that's really catching Chan out, and it's making it very hard for her to recover.
And those boasts, they're just not high enough. They're not short enough, are they? They're just sitting up enough times. Sabrina, in this form, in this mental attitude, she's never making a mistake there, is she?
No, and after saying that she's punched the last few long, she then uses a short variation just as Chan started to hand back on the tee. Chan's having to cover all 4 corners of the court here so often. It's a really hard thing to do.
Again, that forehand short game from Sobi has been phenomenal in tonight's final. And it's times like these, Oscar, where if you're Chan, you're questioning, how do I win a point here? How do I get in front? Especially when my opponent is recovering so well.
Yeah,
those shots.
She's up to game here, Chan, hasn't she? But Sobi's just gone that one level above. You know, you asked if she was back to playing number 13 in the world level. I'd say easily looking at this performance. She's not been fazed by the tactical attempts to change this match from Chan here. She's on an absolute roll. To quote our co-commentator Lewis, Sobi's absolutely flying.
She certainly is. She's got it. Fantastic rallies from these two. What's nice as well is there's been very few unforced errors. It's been very free flowing. There's been, I mean, apart from that decision, very minimal involvement with the referee, and that's just for me, it's just a fantastic advert for the game, particularly the women's game at the moment. And as I say, the unforced errors, taking inspiration from my co-commentator Lewis yesterday with the commentator curse.
You're right, though. This is very positive attacking squash. Chan's actually throwing an awful lot of Sobi in this game. It's just all coming back with interest. That's one of the worst feelings on court when your opponent is getting some of your best shots and your best attacks and reversing the pressure on you near instantly.
It's a great kill from Chan. Those are those invisible shots that she needs to bring into this final. I mean, it's very difficult to see how she can when Sabrina Sobi is just guarding that line, but she has to think of something new, doesn't she?
It's a good read there from Sobi. She just, that's how good it's got to be, hasn't it?
That's
I mean, Sobi was waiting for that cross-court lob before it even went in. She just seems to have the read of Chan so well. Perhaps it's that match before. You know, quite clearly she took a lot of lessons from that 3-love loss she suffered earlier in the season.
Yeah, that's a great point. Again, a clever shot down the middle. And with that, it's 3 game balls for Sabrina Sobi. Wonderful stuff again, and there's a head nod from Sabrina Sobi as she heads off court with a 2-love advantage in this final matchup. Ten minutes in duration, slightly longer, slightly closer on the scoreboard, but it's still Sabrina Sobi with that 2-love to lead. Well, Oscar, I mean, what can we say? I don't know what to say for Chan at the moment. Sabrina Sobi is just too good.
There's not just one thing that she's doing well. She's doing everything well. You know, probably the most important thing is that fast movement onto every single attack from Chan, making her have to cover both a long and short counter-attack. But she's switching the play so well in the back corners. You know, she's not letting Chan settle into any sort of rhythm. I think there'll be a lot of players who've been part of that 18-match win streak from Chan who'll be at home watching this and taking a lot of lessons of, you know, how to disrupt someone's movement who has that incredible rhythm when you give them time. You take that time away any way you can, pushing up the court, volleying, hitting with incredible accuracy and width yourself. This is a perfect performance.
I want to go back to a point that you made because it was really good. You know, it seems like she's learned from that performance in the past event. She lost 3-love the Nash Cup, and it really feels like she's done her research, done her homework. How important is it to learn from your losses as well as your wins?
I mean, exactly, right? There's a lot of lessons that she's clearly took from that, even though she's clearly just playing better and on better form here. She's taken a lot of tactical lessons around how to disrupt that movement of Chan. Chan likes to play those quite mid-pace, incredibly accurate drives up and down the wall and then wait for that opportunity to attack or attack from the back. She's never had that time to settle in the back corners. We've not seen any of those brilliant attacks from the back that Chan's been doing all week. She's looking very uncomfortable on there. It feels like she needs to bring in more variation, and the issue with her now is that she can't take this loss in the final and learn for the next time. She needs to learn at 2-love down, and that's going to be a very difficult position for her to be in.
Let's see what she can do here as she finds herself 2 games to love down against a pretty immaculate Sabrina Sobi. Here we go again. Will there be a response? And that is something that Chan will be looking to repeat often from Sabrina Sobey as she's lost the ball wedged in the net.
Just telling them to throw the racket at the net there.
Oh, I think it's actually going to be Rodney Martin that's going to save the day. And he's lost it. Oh, what a
unbelievable!
What drama we're seeing here on the centre court. Finding that back wall, Nick.
That was a quick fire rally. Instantly you can see there that Chan is trying to volley more herself in these first few exchanges.
This is better here from Chan. Oh, it's a clever hold from Sabrina Sobey. Just sitting on that ball for an age and just allowing Chan to get sucked into that direction. Well cleaned up from Chan. Immediately this is a better response though from the woman from Hong Kong.
I liked the lack of hold there on that drop shot winner. With someone of the speed of Sobey, sometimes that deception, that natural deception in the swing of Chan actually just gives her an extra second to get into a position on court where she can cover every corner so well, Sobey.
Well, that's a real chance for Chan. Again, it's such a repeating shot for Sabrina Sobey. As soon as that cross court goes anywhere loose, you just know for sure that Sobey's going to put that one away.
Yeah, Chan will look back on a few of those cross courts and be kicking herself about the lack of width.
Yeah, Chan's stuck in a bit of a conundrum at the moment, isn't she? Because she's trying to play more attacking, but has to get better width. But she's on a roll at the moment. This is good scrambling, but it's Sabrina Sobey.
Her efforts to attack are creating these quick fire rallies, but you do not want to play quick fire rallies against Sabrina Sobey. She's one of the fastest players on tours. She's incredibly comfortable on this court, and she's winning all these rapid exchanges. I mean, it's difficult to see what Chan can do here. Does she need to attack in straight lines so that she's not opening the court up? She needs to keep trying to push up a volley. She can't get stuck behind, but it feels like absolutely everything she does, Sabrina's got an answer for.
One of the very few decisions that we've had in this amazingly free-flowing match. It's only been 24 minutes as well. This has been like I said, a blitzing so far from Sabrina Sobey.
Yeah, we've seen Chan make some brilliant comebacks in games. She's been down 9-6, 9-5 and won games from some difficult positions, but it always felt like she could raise her level above that of her opponents, and that just hasn't seemed possible today, has it?
Oh, she's just all over Chan at the moment. It really feels like Sobi is marching on in this final. Very strong drive there from Chan, holding her ground nicely. That's a great boast from Chan. Pressure's on Sobi.
How many winners does Chan have to hit here?
I mean, she somehow found herself in a very tough position and just did an Uno reverse.
She did. I mean, she's never out of these rallies, is she? It's absolutely incredible. She's had an amazing tournament here, Chan, and you can see that she's constructing some good stuff on court, but like her last 18 opponents, she may just have to turn around today and say Sabrina just was playing the better squash.
Chan needs to capitalize now on this brief break, and this is a better couple of shots here for her. Much better boast there from Chan. Good scrambling from Sobi. She's not going to get that one though, and that was a fist bump from Chan.
You have to say it was that incredible drop into the front and then the early movement onto the ball. That was one of the first times where Sabrina just had no read on where that ball was going. If Chan can launch a comeback here, there will be rumours flying around that she truly is unbeatable, because she was looking out of it at the start of this game.
And furious there from Chan for opening up the court, but it's Sabrina Sobi that seizes it. She's got 2 championship balls. Oh, wonderful shot from Chan. Did not panic at all on that shot. 1 saved, 1 remains. Oh, there's a dive from Sabrina Sobi, but it's not quite enough. An absolute ripper of a boast from Chan. How important was that, Oscar? 2 match balls, 2 championship balls for Sabrina Sobi, but it's Chan that saved them.
I know, and she still looks frustrated with herself. You know, she's taking her time around the court here, resetting Chan as if she's not just played 2 beautiful rallies to come back from 2 championship balls down. It feels like this could be about to get a little bit wild.
I'm very stressed watching this. Just got it up, but it's opened up, and Sabrina Sobi takes full advantage. It's another championship ball now for Sabrina Sobi. Well, there wasn't a huge amount of argument there from Sabrina Sobi. I think she knew that was an early ask.
Slightly early, yeah, but slightly loose ball from Chan. I think Sabrina needs to reset here.
Just stays in. Pressure on Chan.
This is hard work.
Oh, it's well closed out by Chan. And after 3 championship balls to Sobi, it's Chan with a game ball. What a match this is, Oscar.
I don't know how, but she's getting in front of Sobi here.
And it goes in the tin. The first game has been dropped by Sabrina Sobi in this event. The crowd being treated to this amazing display of squash from these two tremendous athletes. 13-11, 12 minutes. Sin Hyuk Chan, that's got a game on the board. It's 2-1 to Sabrina Sobi. Well, Oscar, what do we even say now? This was not part of the scheme, was it? I mean, 2-love down for Sin Hyuk Chan. It looked all Sabrina Sobi. And then out of nowhere, like you said, she's suddenly taken over that T position, which she hasn't done all match.
I'm not just smiling because I predicted 4 or 5 games to Sobi here. I'm just glad that we're getting more of this squash. That really started to liven up the back end of this game. It was great to see Chan raise her game. We were just starting to say that it felt like Sobi was just the better player today. But Chan just found something, didn't she? I think her drives got a little bit tighter. She just started to get herself in front on that T position ahead of Sobi for the first time all match, and then we saw her incredible attacks and why she's on that 18-match win streak. She was weaving Sobi around, playing 2 or 3 or 4 winners in a rally due to the movement of Sobi, was unfazed, even a match ball down, continued playing proactive winning squash. If she continues that, then it feels like this match is live, it's wide open.
I mean, I really hope this goes to 5. Just from a selfish point of view, I want to watch this more. This has been a phenomenal display so far. What does Sin Hyuk Chan now have to do? Does she have to keep trying to press on that T position, or does she need to sort of restock here and find a way back to settle?
She needs to keep using those variations. She needs to keep using height where possible to stop Sobi from rushing her. But when she gets that chance and when she plays that tight ball, she has to rush up to the court. She needs to match Sobi's busy movement with that of her own and really start to attack and take this game.
Well, let's find out what's going to happen here, because Oscar and I, including the entire audience here, are on the edge of our seats. It also felt, Oscar, that when it got to the crunch point, 2 championship balls for Sabrina Sobi, that's when we saw, as you can expect, some nerves. Ball went in the tin. We haven't seen many tins at all throughout this match. And there's a continuation slightly there from Sabrina Sobi on that tin. Is that going to play a factor in this 4th game?
Yeah, we've seen 2 tins for the first 2 points here, and as you've said, so far this squash has been very, very high quality from both of them. We know that's going to continue, but Chan has this incredible ability to move the ball wherever she wants in the court with incredible accuracy. If Sobi starts to let a few errors slip in, you could just see Chan start to take hold of these rallies.
Yeah, tidied up nicely from Sabrina Sobi.
I just felt like Chan was playing it into the front of the court a little bit too much in that rally. Sabrina's shown her danger on the counter-attack. Obviously, Chan is now starting to move her well, but she needs to be careful.
That's the classy shot from Chan. We've seen it all week, that combination, the 1-2 into the front, cutting off the Lewis cross court. One thing that I've seen throughout this match is first beginning games. Oh, what a response though from Sabrina Sobi off the serve. Going back to that point with Chan, the boasts at the beginning were very high, and Sabrina Sobey just lapped them all up. But in that last period of the game, the boasts got lower. Maybe not that low, because that's gone in the tin, but the margins are getting better. Sin Hyuk Chan.
Yeah, we said that she needed to learn and adapt after being 2-love down. I think a few adaptations it's very clear that she's made is she's forcing herself further up the court, and that is putting more pressure on the racket of Sobey. We commented on just how relaxed she was in those adaptations, but she knows that Chan is trying to force the pace here. That's making it a little bit more unpredictable for Sobey, and we are just starting to see a few errors, aren't we?
Yeah, they're just creeping in. It's a perfect width from the American. Good pressure here being built. Oh, this is good squash. She very rarely misses those. And it's the combination that I think she's going to become renowned for in her career, of really just expanding that court out for their opponent, making it really hard to get stable.
It's the amount of cut that she gets in her swing. Her racket has such an open face all the way through her preparation. That does two things. It means that it feels like she can take the ball absolutely whenever she wants, which is horrible to play against. It also means that when she does take it and the ball stays so short, it's got so much backspin. Even with the speed of Sobey, she's starting to not get some of these back. And that's exactly what Sobey needs to do in response. She needs to get back to this incredible length play that she showed in the first two. It wasn't just her movement that was getting her in front of Chan consistently. It was that quality and the fact that she was the one playing the better lines.
Yeah, and it's that expression, closing down the court, isn't it? Closing down the court, when you visualize it, you're just making things ever so slightly narrower for your opponent, taking away options. Oh, beautiful finish from Sabrina Sobey.
She's created some daylight here. I think that's the first time in this game. But will she be thinking in the back of her mind that she was quite far up, 10-8 match ball up? She will want this lead to be as big as possible as she gets into the back end of this game.
Certainly going to be a mental battle when she starts to see the finish line. Oh, that's a perfect shot from Chan. Exactly as you said, Oscar, with that open racket face.
Yeah, I mean, the ability to carve balls like that in when you're down in the fourth game of a championship final, I mean, that is a huge amount of confidence on your racket.
A bit of traffic there for the let decision. And Chan having a broken string, so she's got a bit of time there to go and replace it. Give Sabrina Sobey a bit of time to restock. I feel now that momentum is being built with Sabrina Sobey.
It has, but we just know how hard Chan is to put away. Just as we say that, you can see the frustration from her there. That is an uncharacteristic error.
We were at the scoreline in the previous game. And Chan came back. Can Sabrina Sobey hold off the response? And what a gift it is at this stage of the match. And that's 4 championship balls now for Sobey. And it's gone back into the net. I think that's Josh Tate. Is that Josh Tate? No, it's Mark Brookman. Even he can't reach that one.
Yeah, just not quite tall enough, was he?
I don't think anyone's ever said that about Mark Brookman. 4 championship balls for the American. Chance here for her. Oh, she's done it. What a finish as well from Sabrina Sobey. As the arms go up in relief after an incredibly enjoyable match for everyone here.
Everyone, please give it up for our 2 finalists, Simi Chan, but it's your champion from the USA, Sabrina
42 minutes to
Sobey.
play, 3 games to 1. Let's join Lewis Anderson on court and see what Sabrina Sobey has to say about that one.
Wow, what a performance. You had 2 match balls in the 3rd game and she came back into it. Was that a game changer? Well, obviously it was, but how did you deal with that?
I mean, I knew it was going to be a battle, honestly. I was just focusing on going through the finish line and not anything near it because I played Sydney before and I had a huge lead. And next thing I know, she's beaten me 3-love. So I knew it was going to be, I had to work for every point. I had to make it really difficult for both of us. Because obviously you could tell she doesn't give up anything. Extremely difficult. So I just kind of was like, you know, I knew it was going to be really hard. And fair play, it was.
Yeah, no, well, it was very impressive to see you come out in the 4th flying and come over that finish line. We will get to the thank yous in the presentation later, but we have a question. There's a lot of young girls and boys in the crowd, but the question, well, I kind of want to ask it for them. If you're in a Taylor Swift era right now, which one would you be in?
I mean, I hate to say I don't even know enough about the eras to answer that question.
Okay, we'll go with favorite song then.
She's got so many good ones. You know, I feel like Love Story hits from all the way back in childhood, so I'm going to stick with that one.
There we have it. Love Story. Get that on the Orcs right now. Let's give it up for your champion, Sabrina Sobey.
Sabrina Sobey takes this
Well, don't go
title
anywhere. We'll be back.
here in Springfield, United States of America. St. James Expression Open 2025 champion. What a performance. What an enjoyable match to watch. And for Sabrina Sobey, this is a seriously good sign for her 2025-2026 PSA Squash Tour season. Fantastic advert for the game. Well, we've got the men's final coming up next, which should come on court very shortly as the crowd have a moment to refill their drinks. So join us again very shortly for this men's final coming up, which is Lionel Cardenas, the number 1 seed, up against Veer Chatrani of India.
Well, we are going to waste no time. We have the men's final. Firstly, your number 5 seed, Via Chichani. And please give a big round of applause for the number 1 seed from Mexico, Leonel Cardenas.
Siempre poniendo río.
And welcome back to the St James Expression Open 2025. It's finals day here, and we've seen a fantastic performance in the women's, with Sabrina Sobey taking the title in a fantastic match between her and Sin Yuk Chan, 3-1. So we now know one champion of this event. It's time to find out who's going to take the glory in the men's side of things. It's Leonel Cardenas, the number 1 seed from Mexico, up against Veer Chitrani of India, the number 5 seed in this event. It's plain sailing for Leonel Cardenas on paper, not dropping a game yet, versus Veer Chitrani, who had to do some serious upsets, including Mohammed El Shabini. And then last night, Timothy Brownell in a very, very strong performance, 3 games to love. Crowd's building here at the St James. Great atmosphere, as we've had all week. I'm Stephen Hurst, and joining me in the commentary box is Lewis Anderson, as he has been all week. How are we?
Good, Steve. Thanks for the introduction. Happy to be back here. Looking forward to this banger of a match.
Well, you've been doing MCing as well, so you've had a pretty full-on week.
Yeah, it's been tough. First time doing it, as I said previously in the week. I didn't realise how tough this malarkey was. I mean, I'm rushing onto court, speaking to the players, back here in commentary. It's great fun, but I don't know if I could do this for another day. I think I'm broken.
Well, it's only one more match left, and I have to say it's going to be a fascinating matchup between these two. Leonel Cardenas, as we said, dominant throughout this event here in Springfield. Hasn't dropped a game yet. I'm sure he will not have any intention of doing so tonight. But Veer Chitrani causing multiple upsets on his way through here. He is starting to really shape up for me as in a flow state. And I think we saw that yesterday with Timothy Brownell, where he dispatched him 3 games to love.
Yeah, he is in a flow state. Even when he isn't in a flow state, he looks very calm and relaxed on court. So playing the way he is only going to ooze confidence from the Indian. And he's going to come into this with a ranking of 40 or so places below the Mexican, but there's no reason why you can't test him and even take this championship.
Well, Leonel Cardenas, currently ranked number 15 in the world. He's been as high as number 13. He's on phenomenal form. He took the glory over in the Toronto Athletic Club just a week or so ago in Canada. That was a copper event. That's the same level as this one he's in, so he's in familiar territory in this final, isn't he?
Yeah, this will be routine for him. He'll be looking to take this in very stylish fashion. We talk about his strong game of just putting opponents under immense pressure with many to non-errors. But Veer will have to find an answer for that and try and mix him up with his shots and really test him in these early points.
Number 1 seed, the kickstarts proceedings in this men's final. Now, what we saw yesterday with his match against Brownell was an immediate injection of pace. He had a clear tactic of trying to rush up onto that tee and hunt everything. I don't think he's going to get a chance to do that from the beginning against someone like Cardenas.
No, he's not, and you saw in parts of that game yesterday, he was under the pressure a lot from Brownell, and he weathered the storm from long parts of it, which allowed him to take that 2-love lead from just finding a way to conjure up points. But against Cardenas, he was watching yesterday on the front row, and he'll know exactly what Veer's all about and will want to stop him from implementing any of those game plans today.
Well, these two have played 3 times on the PSA Squash Tour, that lead being in favour of the Mexican player. Previous 2 matches have been 3-love to Cardenas, with the first match being a 5-setter, but that was nearly 4 or 5 years ago, so ancient history in the grand scheme of things.
It's a great retrieval from Veer.
Great rally from these two. Cardenas dictating the pace all the way through that one. Two unforced errors now from Chitrani. Someone like Cardenas, he eats them up, doesn't he? When he sees his opponent giving him free points like that, he really does relish in that.
Yeah, he'll be seeing good signs to start this game. And the difference was yesterday with Veer, most of those unforced errors were actually winners. And he'll be telling himself he can't afford to let any more of those slip into his game today. 3 boasts in a row.
Well, the score is 4-1 at the moment. As you say, 3 of those are tins.
Yeah, I don't think the game yesterday would have taken much out of Via's legs. If anything, it was only 32 minutes, so it probably would have been mentally more challenging than physically. He had a tough one against Shabini in the quarterfinal, but these errors just keep coming thick and fast.
I think when these errors start to stack, they compound against the player. The higher you go up the rankings, and Cardenas, obviously number 15 in the world, he just loves to see those things happen on court.
Yeah, and I mentioned yesterday that he rarely makes errors, so
You just can't write that. Can't write that, Lewis.
this is commentator's curse at its finest.
Lengthy rally down this backhand side. Just to reset proceedings, both players making some unforced errors. Five unforced errors there, I think, if that's my count, from Veer Chitrani. I think this is something that Cardenas does so well. He forces you to question your ability in terms of how do I get a point off him, you know, and that's what makes players like Veer Chitrani force things a little bit like this. So it is down to the pressure of the Mexican #1 seed.
Yeah, if it was anyone in this tournament that's going to dismantle the flying Chitrani.
Oh, what a shot.
That was
Chitrani.
incredible. That is the flying Chitrani at his finest. But as I was going to say, that's only one shot he's played. That's been paired with 5 errors. So if there's anyone that's going to get stuck into him and stop him from doing that, it's going to be Cardenas. And Villa knows his margins are going to have to be exceptional.
Whatever happens here, that will be the key talking point in the coaching corner for Chitrani.
Been a fast start.
Credit to Cardenas though, he is just keeping that pressure up, not doing anything wrong really, bar that one unforced error that you brought on.
Yeah, to the viewers out there, me and Steve were having a bit of a chuckle because whenever I say that the Mexican doesn't make any errors, it's poetry in motion.
Yeah, specifically Cardenas.
Yep, he's my bogey player in some ways.
This is a better spell here from Chitrani, being a bit more patient.
Yeah,
That's a strong position from Cardenas.
Yeah, it's just that consistent length that's maybe 2 or 3 feet above the tin. He hits it so flat, and his opponent's always having to hit up on that ball when he finds this rhythm. But then he also can just reset down this backhand wall with a lovely lob.
Yeah, defensive play from Cardenas is definitely one of his strongest points. Well, that's a clever shot. That was an important rally, I feel, for Chitrani. Like you say there, he's using that at height, and I think that's something that we need to see a bit more of.
Yeah, he'll have to have a few game plans against Leo. He can't just stick to one as a guy so formidable who's 15 in the world will just have answers.
Just to reiterate the score there, it's currently 9-5 to Lionel Cardenas with Ciociani serving. Oh, I mean, someone said wow, and that was an understatement. Bullet from Ciociani into the front right.
Yeah, at the start of this game, they were errors, and he's flipped that.
Very patient play from these two down this backhand side. As you said, Ciociani looks a bit like a different player than the first sort of 5 or 6 points with all those unforced errors. They've just been cut out.
Yeah, he can go on a run of a few points. You've seen it yesterday. He was 8-3 down in the second against Timmy Brownell. Just found a way back in, and here he is, 8-9, and we've been only praising Cardenas, but it's Ciociani who's looking the better player at the moment.
And the momentum keeps going here with the Indian as he's equalized on the scoreboard. Nine all. The score, just to reiterate, crucial point here for both.
It's that flow state you mentioned at the start of this match that Via's found himself in, and right on cue, there he is. Somehow with one game ball.
Cardenas hasn't dropped a game yet in this event. Well, there was just an exchange there with the referee, Lou, from Cardenas, just making a point that he's had a few knocks from Ciociani. Referee handling it quite well.
Was it the knocks or the pickups?
I think maybe it was the pickups actually. Yeah, sorry, maybe I didn't interpret
I know it might
that.
have been. I didn't understand what he was complaining about because Ciociani gave him the point.
Yeah. So there's one game ball saved, and now it's a game ball in favour of Cardenas, 11-10. And that's a serious reply from Ciociani, whipping that cross court into the back corners.
He's not going away.
Appeal from Cardenas, but it's going to be a stroke. Another game ball now for Cardenas. Perfect width. Very difficult shot to execute just to get it past Ciociani into his back corner. And again, Lionel Cardenas, the number 1 seed, refusing to lose a game in this event so far. $11-9 for Beer for Lionel Cardenas. Now, Lou, what's he going to do here to respond? I mean, he had that game ball, and you felt like that flow state was getting into effect there, but it was just a couple of maybe shot selection that was the crux of his game there.
Yeah, I mean, that slow start isn't going to help him going forward. He'll know that. He'll want to get back on in the second game where he left off in the back end of that game, and he needs those couple of points margin to really see out a game, because I just feel that when it gets close, Lionel Cardenas will just shut all thoughts down and stop anything that Ciociani will want to impose on him. So all credit to both of them in some ways. Ciociani's found himself back in this match after being 9-3 down, but Cardenas obviously with that experience closing out that first game.
We have to talk about the unforced errors, unfortunately, for Ciociani, because when you go down to these fine margins where it's just 1 point, I mean, there's about 6 or 7, I think, tins in total. It's such a statement to say of how important it is to stay solid. I mean, Cardenas made maybe 1 or 2 in total.
Yeah, it can't happen. I mean, you hear Amir Shabana, one of the legends of the game, talk about he hit 9 tins in a game, but actually won it 11-9. So if they do keep coming off, then if you hit more winners than tins, you're doing the right thing. But against Cardenas, it's going to be very hard to make 11 winners. So those tins have got to come down.
Let's find out how this is going to develop here on the centre court. St. James. Oh, it's a lovely shot. It's a stun.
Wow.
It's a stun, isn't it?
Yeah, it's almost like a Shabagi drop shot, but onto the backhand side that time. Yeah, it looks like Ciociani has just stepped up the court here, and he's making Lionel work. Wow, was that good?
That was good, and it was better than good, because with that speed and that lunge, I don't know how he got it onto the front with such high quality.
It's a great answer.
You don't often see it because it's such a fast-paced shot, but we mentioned it last time we were talking about Cardenas, that half volley, he does so well.
Shots are coming very quick here with good effect. Well, it's actually Beer who's flipped this game on its head. As we said, he's cut out those unforced errors and they've turned into errors. And then just creeping in are a couple of unforced errors from Cardenas.
Yeah, 4-1 on the scoreboard. With that 10, making it 2-4.
Apart from these unforced errors, it's been a very high quality game.
Yep.
They're both up for this. Beer will know that if he can find a way through this match, that his ranking and the points he'll gain from this tournament will drastically improve.
Super gets there from Cardenas. Oh, what a shot there. Finding the angle from the back corner. He really isn't afraid of taking it in with these high-risk shots, Chotrani. 5-2 on the scoreboard. Oh, that's clever.
Yeah, it's that hold. And he has played a couple of trickle boasts and a couple of straight drops that have just brought the Mexican up the court, and then he's able to hold and actually create the space to the back of the court. And as VA gets into matches and he's playing like this, you just feel like he's getting better and better. I mean, the court the ball dies off a bit, and he gets more confident like that shot there.
That dexterity in the wrist around the front area, I mean, it just shouldn't be allowed, is it? I mean, that skill level is a joke.
It is. It should not be allowed, but it is legit, isn't it? And another legit shot there from Chotrani, and he's opened up to an 8-2 lead in this second game.
And I feel like it's come from that opening period of this game where instantly it was like a barrage of attacks where Leonel Cardenas was really lunging into those front corners. And I think that was starting to damage him a bit.
Yeah, well, if you think he hasn't actually been tested in this game, in this tournament, sorry, he's come through very convincingly, and you wonder if having a few days off can just relax his muscles and maybe they're not activated how they should be or how they have been in previous tournaments. But he's on a little roll now.
Yeah, this is a quick fire response now from Cardenas. But that's the game there for Chotrani. He's brought it back. It's equalized in this final, and it's the first game that Cardenas has actually dropped in this event.
One game all for training to serve. Love all.
Quick final start. Oh, this is a joke coverage. Cardenas holding this ground very nicely.
Yeah, he knows just how hard he's got to work in this match. he won't want to let Ciociani on another roll of points in this third game like he did in that second.
Tight work from Cardenas.
Where do you see this game going, Steve?
There's definitely going to be a locking down of the court from Cardenas. I don't think he's going to be as open. I think he wants to try and keep it quite tight in the back in those corners. But like you say, Ciociani, he finds a way out of those.
Yeah, you almost feel like one player is going to take control of this. Maybe it's Cardenas, or maybe it's Ciociani. What a shot that was!
I mean, what do you even say to that? It wasn't even a bad shot from Cardenas. It was not, it wasn't necessarily loose. But Ciociani just jumps at it and takes it in with ease.
Well, Ciociani knows what he has to say about that. He said in his post-match interview, if he had a superpower, it would be being able to fly. And he almost left the St. James then.
That's very true. I'm glad we've got a roof here, stable enough.
Ooh. Just a bit of interference there, nothing too crazy.
It's 1-1 in games, just to reiterate. 1-1 in this third. Ooh, it's a chance.
First error we've seen from Ciociani in a while. You just see him getting in those positions so early. You feel like he can do whatever he wants with the ball. And he just keeps Cardenas on the tee guessing. Tight work down this backhand side. Oh,
it's a beautiful shot there from Cardenas. Just sets that onto the front wall. When I say set, it's what's very impressive about Cardenas' his drop shot is that ball lands very close to the front, very close to that tin, making it incredibly hard to retrieve. Just good work here from Ciociani.
Those drops are going in a lot. You feel like he wants to exploit those front areas.
Again. Oh. Well, there's an appeal there for Ciociani. He thinks that was up.
Yeah.
You think that was up?
Tough to say from here, but when the player is so confident that he got it, and they're a fair player on the whole, it could have been.
That's a good shot there for Ciociani, sending that one deep into the back forehand. Now I've got the scoreboard.
Oh.
Pressure being built now by the number 1 seed. That's a good finish there. Very calm and collected. He takes that one into the front corner.
Yeah, you just feel like he's taken a foothold in this match. And started where he left off in the first game.
Yeah, there's a real change of body language. There's a change in the tactic of. I kind of mentioned it was a closing down of the court, in a bit more stubborn in general. Oh, there's a Mizuki.
Whoa!
Oh, what a
actually a winner off the Mizuki. What a shot that was. This game's got everything.
There's great pressure being built by Citrani.
Pace has just increased, hasn't it?
And there's the unforced error. He's doing the right stuff, though.
Yeah, he is. He's a lot of those have actually been hurting Cardenas. Just clipping the top of the tin. An amazing recovery from Cardenas. And then he puts himself on the front foot from it's almost an attacking lob.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? We always think the lob is a defensive shot, right?
But he took that second game pretty well. It was almost a wake-up call for him in this competition, knowing that Citrani's on very hot form and he won't want to be giving many games away in this.
Cardenas hunting that T-line now. Oh, reactions! Oh!
Nearly fell over then into Citrani.
Oh, this is a joke.
He's going.
Both just resetting. Oh, that's a clever shot. I mean, he had the whole front wall for himself, and he found the finest of margins above the tin in the middle. Brilliant rally there from these two. This is seriously entertaining.
Yeah, no, it is. Both two classy players. The crowd are loving it. I'm loving it.
It was loose from Citrani. And someone of Cardenas' caliber is never going to make an unenforced error there. Oh, brilliant shot again. He's just got a renewed energy about him and confidence in his short game particularly. 6 game balls now for the #1 seed. And there it is, he closes that one out. 11-4. A strong response there from the #1 seed. Well, the crowd's starting to really build in this amazing facility at St. James. Great atmosphere all week. Superb work by Josh Taylor, the promoter.
Cardenas leads. 2 games to 1. 2 games to 1. Cardenas to serve. Cardenas to serve. Hello. Hello.
Well, no matter what happens here, Lewis, this is the biggest test that Cardenas has faced in this event.
Yeah, it is. And you saw in that last game that his level just increased. And you feel like that's what he's going to have to do to see this Indian who's in fine form.
It almost felt like a factory reset from Cardenas in that last game. Vetrani was firing everything in with a lot of success. It was flow state, but Cardenas just resetting everything back to basics, keeping it very difficult to break down.
Well, Via failed. Leo does it after the first time of asking.
It's happened a couple times, that net. It is sitting
You just
quite
see
over
that,
that, yeah.
It's hanging over, isn't it?
Another unforced error being...
Do you think that's the right shot from Via, or do you feel like he needs to find his length a bit more?
Certainly has to find his length a bit more, but then on the flip side, can you blame him for the shots that he did in that game that he did win? I think it is just that timing that Cardenas really forces you to think about. But it is crucial here now for Chatrani to keep that ball out of the tin. Especially when Cardenas is locking down the court.
And right, yeah. Well, there's another one, and he just can't afford to do that anymore in this match. You look at Via, and he's so in sync with his racket and his body, but it's hard to find his game style really, because it's so creative.
Yeah.
Yet he has such a calm head on his shoulders throughout it. And that's why he can find a way through these players in the top 40.
But it has to say, it's the unforced errors really, isn't it, that's caused the most problems.
Yeah, it is. And he hasn't been up against a top 20 player in this tournament yet, and could be proving one step too far for him.
Clever shot, used very sparingly.
Great lob.
Perfect width. Peel from Cardenas, but it was short-lived. I mean, no matter what happens, he's certainly gained some more followers, I feel, including myself. It's been brilliant to watch Chotrani play.
Yeah, he's exactly what the sport loves to see.
But in contrast, Cardenas, I mean, he is just a different style of play, but it's completely respectable too. How far do you reckon Cardenas can go? Particularly in this season. He's obviously at 15. He's been as high as 13 though. Do you think he can break that top 10?
I do think he can, especially with an older generation of a top 10. Some might be finding it hard to keep their spot up there. However, there is a lot of players that are all gunning for that top 10 spot, getting in the single figures. But he is at a point where he's got everything needed in his game. It's just a case of producing it on the big stage over a long period of time, like a season or two.
Yeah, and I think it's really important that we're seeing him play these copper events. Obviously, he could be just reserved to playing the larger ones, the golds and the platinums and so on, but you can see the confidence he's building by getting to these finals.
Yeah, and you just see like that fist pump and scream from him. It shows how much it means to him, even in these smaller tournaments. Well, that looked. Well, there we go. That is Chotrani down to a T.
Don't need those comments.
Well, to me, on first glance, that looked in. I don't know about you.
Yeah, and the ref said it was in the reflection. He might have seen it wrong, but Via was very fair and decides to play a let.
Yeah, he didn't have to do that at all.
Wow.
I mean, what was that?
What was that?
Just oohs and ahs from the audience.
I feel like it's make or break for Via here. Has to find something in the back end of this fourth game.
And it's a summary of the match. Everything that Chotrani does exciting. Cardenas has that unbelievable ability to just extinguish the flame. Now he's got a seriously big scoreline, 7-3.
You see Via being worked from corner to corner here. Cardenas bouncing around, fresh as a daisy.
Good hands. Yeah, again, well tidied up. So conditioned around that front half of the court. Anything loose, he just puts it away with ease.
Oh, again.
Yeah, and that constant pressure being built by Cardenas.
Yeah. It's great length from the number 1 seed. He's really starting to show why he is number 15 in the world.
And after all that pressure being built and constructed with these rallies, you can really feel like Ciociani is running out of answers. 7 championship balls now for the number 1 seed. Great lift from the number 1 seed. Oh, he got it up. He got it up, and he's done it the first time of asking. What a performance from Lionel Cardenas. Fantastic all the way through. Dropping just 1 game throughout this whole event. Sigh of relief for him. Superb performance from Lionel Cardenas. We're going to join Lewis Anderson on the court now.
We're going to do the presentation for this tournament right away. Please stay in your seats. We'll be back in 2 seconds.
Well, Oscar, it's been a fantastic event. We've had 2 sublime finals with Lionel Cardenas just taking the title there. What's been your highlight from today's action?
I mean, we had 2 great finals, right? 2 4-game thrillers. Really strong performances there from Cardenas and Sobey. I think the way that Cardenas has just controlled this whole tournament and just clearly shown why he's the number 1 seed and why he's 13 in the world has been very impressive. But I think my favourite moment of the event is just to see the rise of Sobey, the comeback of Sobey, to see her get up to that form has been absolutely incredible and end that brilliant win streak of Chan. You know, what a fantastic performance and a very, very, very well-deserved title.
Well, it's been a fantastic event. I've enjoyed it very much. Thank you, Oscar Beach, Lewis Anderson, Josh Taylor, and Danielle Ray for all the commentary help that we've had, and to Josh Taylor and Expression Network for running this amazing event. That's all for us. We're going to leave you with the presentation and Lewis Anderson on court. All the best.
The seat of Expression and our title sponsor. Please give a big round of applause.
I'll try and keep this as short and sweet as possible, but a big thank you to everyone for coming out for the finals today. It's taken a massive team effort to pull this together, and I'm going to try and rattle off everyone that's been involved. At first, obviously, thank you to the St James, Kendrick and Elise and Craig. We've got a fantastic team here that put everything together as a venue and as a family that puts together the squash section. So a big thank you to the St James and everyone behind the scenes that's been able to make this possible. My second thank you is a massive thank you to Abir and Danielle. They've believed in my sort of vision of what we had here as much as the guys behind the scenes at St James. They were the first guys to get behind what I was trying to achieve, and this is a big part of it. And here we are with a much grander event than we were a year and a half ago. So a big heartfelt thank you to both Abir and Danielle for all of their support. And then we have got a long list of people that have got behind this event and put a few dollars in to make the prize pot together and to be able to produce it in this style. I've got a bottle of wine for all of those kind of sponsors and supporters of the event. I'm going to rattle them off. Please do come onto court. We'll hand you a nice bottle of wine. Hopefully a bottle of wine is a nice gift. And we'll try and get a nice photo with everyone involved at the end. So we've got the Dupree family. We've got the members of the University Club, Bitter Cosmetic Surgery. I'm just going to rattle them off. Once I say them, come on in. Or George, come on. We've got Masood Orthodontist. We've got District Inferno, which is supported by Willie Gaynor and Dexter Walker. National Capital Squash, which is also a beer, and his committee. Extreme Labs and Amar, if you want to come on down onto court. George, are you coming? We got your bottle of wine. The Agarwal family, the law office of Susan Han, the Park family, the Golapali family, and Reckoning Accountants. A big thank you to all of our sponsors and supporters. Big round of applause, please. We also have a couple of partners that have made this possible. Close partners in US Squash that have helped us bring the JCT to this venue. We've got a huge junior audience of players that play the US Squash circuit around the country. And we're very appreciative to US Squash for choosing, just after a year and a half of our program kind of really blossoming, to give us a JCT this year. So a big round of applause to US Squash, please. Obviously, the PSA make it possible for us to put on a World Tour level event. They support us as well with the referees. So big thank you to Daniel and David, who have been with us all week. Not an easy job from the guys from WSO, so a big round of applause. Of course, we have got you a bottle of wine as well, if you two fellas, if you want to join us down here, please. We're going to end up with everyone on court by the time we finish. So David, Daniel, please come on down. Moving a little bit to my team of people that have helped us make this possible. We've had a massive streaming production behind the scenes. We've tried to really push that out and do a fantastic job. In that team, we've got Mohsin and Khalid from Live Sports AI. They've been working very closely with the SquashTV guys. And a massive thank you to those guys behind the scenes for putting on the streaming that we have had on this week. Also, a big thank you to Stephen, who's been our commentator. And Lewis, who's been partially funny at times as our MC. Big round of applause to all of our kind of production team. I said it was a bit of a list. I'm still going. My event staff, photographer and maestro Henry, who's been very creative across the course of the week. Henry, come on down onto court as well, please, for me. And then my event staff, we've got Finley, Oscar, DJ Moshi, who's been on the decks all week. Come on in, we've got you a bottle of wine as well, of course. We've got Ruin, who's been behind the scenes playing with these creative lights. Adam, Sergio, who are already here. Nassim, who's slaving away at the other venue for the JCT. Big thank you to him. And of course, without missing a big part of this, a big thank you to the players. We had a fantastic draw. And you know, I couldn't have wished for any more for a couple level event to attract the players that we've had. So a big round of applause to everyone that's been involved. Thank you all for coming. I'll pass on to Kendrick.
Thank you, Josh. Incredible event. Another round of applause for Josh. Great job. Incredible job. Squash is one of the world's most beautiful and challenging sports, and I think we saw that on display all week. And thanks to Josh and the PSA and our sponsors and all of you, we saw incredible competition all week, and then including tonight. I mean, some of those remarkable shots that were made tonight were very special, very impressive. Another round of applause, please, for our finalists, Veer and Cardenas. Incredible competition. I don't know if everybody caught it, you know, but I have a keen eye, if you guys don't know, and Veer had that incredible between the leg shot. Did you see that, Josh? Remarkable. Anyway, very special. We look forward to doing more and more of these. We're big believers in squash and the power and beauty of the sport, and so we're just so excited about what's possible in the future. This is just a very small inkling of what we're going to do here at the St. James Squash. So congratulations to competitors. Thank you all for being here, and more to come. Thank you, guys.
So, maybe like 2 years ago, Josh and I were talking in Cincinnati. I followed Danielle as her like manager slash like logistician, and I wanted to get a hit in, and Josh was kind enough to play some squash with me. I mentioned that we really could use better programming here in the DC area, and he was just very keen. It's the kind of guy Josh is. I came here kind of almost sight unseen, and we spoke to the St. James. Started this about a year and a half ago, and from effectively zero to this, I'm very proud of what he and his team have done. Our CFO always asks, "What are these expenses for squash?" So I think seeing all of you here, he would still not say it's a great expense, but happy to put the money in and help the community here. Having the JCT here, we're seeing what the future brings. I think this one might play a few years from now. So great to have everyone here.
Well, thank you for that, everyone. And without further ado, let's welcome on our finalists. Firstly, an incredible final in the women's side, and your runner-up from Hong Kong, Simi Chan. And please give a huge round of applause for your girl from the USA on her comeback tour, Sabrina Sogley. Would you like to say a few words?
Thank you all for giving me such a warm welcome here. It's my first time here at the St. James facility in B Squash, and needless to say, it's been a really, really memorable week. I'm happy with the squash that I played, the support that I've had, the community that I was able to build in these short couple days. A huge thank you to Josh and to Beer and all of the supporters and the sponsors that put on this event. It's incredible. It's really it's a wonderful tournament, and we had such good players and people here to compete in the event. And a huge round of applause also to Simi. I really enjoyed the final tonight. She's been on an amazing run with a couple of big wins, and it was just an enjoyable match to battle through, and I'm really happy to be here. So yeah, thank you all, and hope to be back again soon.
Thank you very much, Sabrina. Well, on the men's side, we had a great final as well, and just coming up short, but still an amazing... Are we still working? Please welcome your runner-up of this year's Expression Open, Via Ciociani. And continuing his unbeaten run, 2 tournaments in a row. Please give it up for Lionel Carreras.
The champ is here. The champ is here. I have arrived. The champ is here. Holla. The champ is here. I'm a kill with the first verse. And I'm a bury with the second. The champ is here. What? The champ is here. Thinking that you're better than me. The champ is here. Nah, boys, plain to see. The champ is here.
Well, he is the St. James Expression Open champion, and we're going to hear from him right now.
Hi everyone. So I just want to thank everybody for coming, and I hope we play a good final. Beer, it's another battle with you. It was a good game. I know it could be for everyone. I want to congratulate you for your tournament. You played an amazing tournament, and I'm just happy to get through. I have to run a lot, and and yeah, I just wanna say all the sponsors thanks for this tournament. I really like it. The venue is amazing, and everybody who is coming to watch the finals is great to see a lot of kids and a lot of people here watching the sport. And I just want to thank everybody back Mexico, my coaches, my family, my girlfriend over there support me, and Cesar, he was with me with my matches, and it's good to learn from someone in Mexico with that experience and give me confidence to get through the tournament. And yeah, I hope to keep playing here, and thank you everybody.
Well, what an amazing tournament this has been, and it wouldn't be possible unless the likes of the sponsors, players, this amazing venue for making it happen. I hope the young kids at this tournament were inspired. I certainly was, and hopefully this can continue into the future with higher prize money, a bigger event, and just an overall spectacle. So thank you everyone. Thank you to the players, that was amazing. And Josh Taylor, thank you. Safe travels everyone.